Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your Devops SRE DevSecOps coach. Okay, so very first question is what is Terraform? Right? Now, most of us we know Terraform as a coding for infra. Okay, so we want to code for infra. Now, next question which you may have, what's in infra? So, if you want to know what's in infra, then you should hit Terraform providers and you should check that what's there in infra. So here if you see that Terraform providers uh, and click on it. Now this is something you should check, this one. Suddenly that Google algorithm has changed, so you should go for here. Click on here, this URL I'm sharing in the chat. Okay. So here you see so many providers: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, and hell lot of it. Look at the numbers, 3,316 providers are there. That means you are going to code for these platforms using Terraform. That means in a simple way, infrastructure coding or infrastructure automations. Simple. Okay. So we call it infrastructure as a code. This is also is very popular. So anything which you say coding for infrastructure as a code. Okay, so now the question is why Terraform is needed. So before getting into these questions, I would like to tell you here, this tool is from the HashiCorp. Now HashiCorp is a company name. Okay, you must spend at least 10 minutes on their website. Here they have a multiple products. One of the product is Vagrant, Terraform, Packer, Vault, Nomad, Consul, and many more. See, these are all products they have it. One of the products which I'm teaching you, Terraform infrastructure as a code. Got it? So this is from HashiCorp. Now their tools is written in Golang. So the moment we say Go, that means compatible with all the operating system. That means Terraform you can install on Windows, Linux, Mac, wherever you want. And they have multiple releases. So here one is CLI, one is web. Now CLI is free and open source. Now web, you have again two versions. One is web private cloud and one is private. So here what I'm teaching you basically CLI free and open source, web which is a cloud and enterprises version. This will have one session, but it's not focused for the session. This is the important one. Okay. Now which is the version which we have. So I think 1.14. So if you want to see that Terraform download, and here, and if you look at this version 1.5, every month we have a release. So last month it was 1.4. Now we have 1.5. So mind it, this is the one. Okay, so this is the introduction of Terraform. Any questions so far?
No, from my side.
Okay, now the question is why we need it. Simple concept, no need to complicate our understanding. Nowadays, everything is all about the coding. Okay, everything we do coding. Coding for product, coding for testing the product, coding for CI, coding for CD, coding for infrastructure, coding for security. For everything we need a coding. So here the concept is very simple under the Devops. So we want to automate the infrastructure creation process. Understand this. You want to create infrastructure, you want to update infrastructure, and you want to destroy the infrastructure. all this thing, when I say infrastructure, mind it, here I showed you infrastructure glimpse of it. There were 3000, let me check one more time, 3300 or something like that, right? 3000, where is that? Let me show you one more time. 3000, you have uh, 3316. So these are the number of tools you have. So mind it, coding for everything. So you want to create an infrastructure, you want to update infrastructure, you want to destroy infrastructure. You may have a tens of provider you are using, but in one click, one command, one CMD. Can you do that? In one command, you want to create a hell lot of infrastructure which you need for the production. You want to update it in one go and destroy it. You can do as many times, and because you are doing through the coding, there is a consistency, less errors, quality of the deployment will be much faster and better. So everything is, we are coding in a DevOps world, so we are doing coding for infrastructure also. Make sense, all of you? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, Rajiv.
Okay, next question is, okay, how it works. How it works. How you can also call it Terraform architecture, this Terraform architecture. So it's very simple, okay? Understand this way. Here you have, this is the you, this is you, okay? And okay, this is you. Now, you know what? There's so many providers we have. Providers means infrastructure. Let's say consider AWS. You consider, let's say AWS, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, something like that. Okay. So here you have AWS, Google Cloud, Kubernetes. Only I'm taking 3 out of 3000. So now let's say if you want to automate, how do you automate AWS? You use CloudFormation. I hope you know that CloudFormation, all of you, right? Priyanka?
I am coming from Azure background, so I have heard about it,
ARM,
but
ARM, ARM.
yeah, ARM templates I know.
Yeah, correct. If you want to automate Azure, ARM
Hmm.
use AWS, Google Cloud Formation. Google
Okay.
Cloud also have Google templates. Kubernetes
Okay.
also have Helm, YAML, and all kind of things. Correct now. So here, if you look at this, when you want to automate it, it's a, understand that it's a API call. It's again API call, and again it's a API call too. That means here, whatever the tool you are seeing, 3000 plus, all are supporting API. And using API, you can automate it very much. You can do that right now. But the problem here is, this is you. And let's think about it. You need to learn at least 10, mind it here, 10 language, 10 specifications, 10 coding standards. Then you'll get crazy, right? YAML, JSON, XML, shell scripting, Java, Python, API programming can be done a lot of ways. You get crazy. So what about in, let me add in this. What about one coding standard for all providers? How do you feel? When I say one coding standard, that means you need to learn only one coding standard, and the coding for all 3000 providers has been completed. Done. How about this? So here you can create a whole infrastructure, update whole infrastructure, destroy a whole infrastructure in one command. And on top of it, you don't need to learn so many codings, only one coding standard. And this coding standard, we call it HCL. Okay, I'll talk about it. One coding standard for all providers. And you'll feel very easy, right? You don't have to worry about it. Different providers, different platforms, and so on. So yeah, what you are going to do? So you are going to write a code. Of course, you are going to write a code. And this code you will write for creating an infrastructure, updating infrastructure, or destroying infrastructure for what? AWS, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, Azure, Alibaba, whatever it is, you are going to write. This is AWS code, this is the Google Cloud code, this is the Kubernetes code, and you followed only one coding standard, which we call it SCL, Hashikov Configuration Language. Then you say, why we need to learn another language? Because compared to other language, Hashikov configuration language is easy to read. Okay, easy to read, write, test, debug, share, and all compared to others. So of course you can write in SCL. Okay, so you are going to this is you are going to write one code for infrastructure creation or updation or whatever it is for the multiple providers, and then your problem is gone. Now the problem is how this code, this API will understand. That's a problem we need to solve it. Are you understanding the problem? See, you write a one code in SCL. This code, this API don't support actually. Though this API endpoint for AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, or Kubernetes don't understand this code, SCL code. So we need some sort of conversion, correct now? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is where Terraform has one tool which is called Terraform. So this is the Terraform utility. It's one executable. That's all. Don't complicate your understanding. It's just an executable. That's all, which you can install in Windows or Linux, whatever it is. So this you installed a Terraform. It's not installation. In fact, just copy and start working on it. So this you. So what you do? This code you write it and send to Terraform. Okay. Now what will happen? Terraform has a capability to understand this code is for AWS, Google Cloud, and Kubernetes. And you will have to tell few things whether you want to create infrastructure. Okay, you want to create, update. Let me write in this notepad. Okay, so you want to create, update, or destroy. In this here, you use this one, apply, only one command for both, and here you learn destroy. Okay, so this is something which you will do that. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Let me decrease the font like this. So in Terraform, this command you will provide, create, update, or destroy. That means apply or destroy. That's all. But the problem is Terraform understand this command. Okay, this is for Google Cloud, this is for Azure and stuff like that. But how this code will be converted as per the API standard of AWS, Google Cloud, or Kubernetes, or Azure? And that is where they are using one plugin. Don't get confused with the plugins. It's just a tool, it's a executable, and we call it providers. So here what we do, we need three providers in this case: AWS provider plugin, Google Cloud or Azure plugin, and what is this, Kubernetes plugin. So now what Terraform will do, send their code to AWS here, Azure, and this one, and this providers will send this code to AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure on Kubernetes. Done. Now API of AWS is receiving this request in his own supported format, but you are writing the code in one format which is easy to write for everything. Are you understanding, all of you?
I have one question here. I
Yeah.
mean, as you mentioned, Sean, there are around more than 3,000 providers for the Terraform.
Mhm,
So in
mhm.
that case, I mean, there are it will connect around 3,300 APIs. It can transfer, if I
It
understood
can. So
correctly.
3000. But you don't use 3000 in real number, right? Let's say you said I'm using Azure. I will say
Mm-hmm.
I'm using AWS and Google Cloud. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that. Simple.
Okay. Okay, but
Getting point.
whatever
You don't.
platform you are using, you need to use a provider for
Correct.
that
Maybe,
particular.
maybe 10 provider at max, 15 at worst case. More than that, it's not possible.
Uh, like for Azure, as I know, Azure RM provider is used. Apart from that, like for Active Directory as well, there is an another provider. So Azure itself is using two, three providers. I mean,
They have
Terraform is has
they
been.
have deprecated, yeah. So they have three providers. If you see that here, few deprecated actually happened. So here, this is the one major one, Azure RM provider. Okay, and other providers are here. You see that here, some of these CAF, VNet, and network. So these are the provided, but it's not a provider, it's a module actually. And here if you just search for it, Azure, why is not working, huh? So see Azure RM, Azure AD, and this is for, this is not a provider, it's resources. So these two are right now, and rest of this are modules actually.
Okay.
So they were having three, they one is deprecated actually.
Okay.
Okay, so understood this. So now this is provider is also tool. Okay, this is tool also. I'll teach you how to download this one also. So now guys, here you see very simple flow, workflow, how it works. This is you. You will write a code. I'll teach you how to write a code. And after that, you'll send to Terraform with the apply or destroy command. And Terraform will send this code to their own respective providers. And these providers will send this code to API. And now when you make a API call, what you get it in return? What you get it? JSON format. When you
Infrastructure
make a
or
JSON
JSON.
response, you get in JSON, right? So now
Okay.
response will be stored in the, all this response will be stored in a JSON file, and this JSON file we call it state file. Remember that, state file. Okay, that's all. So this is workflow or how it works. So you need a Terraform, you need a provider, you need this plugin, and you need a platform, AWS or whatever it is for the demo, and then you make a request. Results will be in a state file. So these are the things which we need to know. Understood now? Hello.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to I'm going to install the Terraform. So how do you do that? So let me show you directly. So just go to download Terraform, and now this is supported for all the platform. I'm doing for Windows. This is the one for Windows. Download it. Just a few KB, few MB, 19 MB I guess. And this is the latest one. What I'll do, I am going to, let's, still downloading I guess. Huh. So now I'm going to extract this. Extract all, done, here. Now this is just executable. You know, I typically follow one process. Every executable, I copy in the C drive and tools location and Terraform. Where is the Terraform? Can you locate it? Here it is. Now this is the old executable. I'll delete it, copy new one. That's all. Now what I'll do, this path I will add in the environment, so I don't have to worry about full path again and again. So this is the, it's already added. I'll show you this one. So here it is. C tools Terraform. That's all. So once you are done with it, after that open a command and just type a Terraform. Good. So Terraform installed actually. Now you want to check the version. See here, 1.5.2. So this is the way you can install the Terraform. Are you understanding all of you?
Could you share the link
Yeah,
from
this
where
one.
we
Just
can?
type in Google. Why to remember anything? Just
Yeah.
type
Okay.
Terraform download. That's all.
Okay.
Create a pointer in your mind. Terraform download.
Mm.
That's all. If
Okay.
you are using Linux, this is Ubuntu. CentOS, Fedora, Amazon. If you're using Mac, here it is. So done. So in this year, I got this Terraform installation done. Any questions so far? This is done. Any questions so far?
No.
Now next thing is I need to download the provider also. Here, how can I download? So I will ask provider itself, hey provider, can you please tell me how can I download you? So let me go to this Terraform provider, enter. This results has been little bit, Google has been prioritized. You should click here, that link I'm showing you in this URL here, providers.
Can you
Okay,
share
so
that
hell lot of
particular link?
yeah, I'll put it in WhatsApp group. Okay,
Yeah.
this link. So hell lot of providers. So I'll ask Azure or AWS, hey Azure, how can I download you? So because Terraform it was a link given, but when I ask provider AWS, they are giving me code. This is the code for downloading the provider. Same way, if I ask Azure, hey Azure, how can I download you? So they are giving the code. So basically this code is sufficient for downloading. If you think you are hard locking the version of the provider, so this is needed. Okay. So now what to do? So guys, few questions you need to understand before writing a code, because I need to write a code, right? First questions you should ask, how to store Terraform code? How to store Terraform code? Answer is .tf file. Any file name, I repeat, any file name .tf, ending on .tf. Now, one thing I want to tell you here, in one directory is very important one statement. In one directory, I'm creating here one project one, let's say prj1. In one directory, you have, this is a directory, you have file 1.tf, file 2.tf, file 3.tf or 100.tf. These all files, whether you keep it in one file, okay, you keep it everything in one file or separate file, still it's considered as a one file, 1.tf. Are you understanding, or all of you? Whether you keep the code in one file or three files in one directory, still it's considered to be as a one product project. Clear, all of you?
Okay, so for separate project, two separate directories required.
Correct, 100%. I
I
repeat,
mean, if you run the command to apply or create, it would be applied for all these three files.
all, yes,
And
If it
all.
is saying it's like will defining as variable.tf and whatever it may be main.tf. So if you define different files like that, it will be taking as one file when we do the Terraform init or Terraform plan, right?
Yeah, one file it will be considered while running
Okay.
apply or destroy, one file.
Okay.
Either you write in one or three, not a problem. But
I mean, one question here. I mean, it depends on the directory path which we use, right? I mean, in case if
yeah,
we get down to the file tf directory path, then it would be applied to the only one file.
no, you apply at the directory level, destroy at the
Okay,
directory level.
okay.
Okay. So now this is the directory, my project. You know, for easy maintenance, I will write one file which is called providers.tf. Providers.tf. So this file I
One more
will keep it.
question here, like a provider code which you have shown. Uh, this will call this code of this will call the API, or this will call the API that will connect to the mm, uh, either Azure, whatever provider you have used, it
Okay,
will
okay.
connect
I
to that.
see right
Mhm.
now I'm not writing a code for creating any infrastructure at AWS or this one. Right
Okay.
now I'm writing a code for downloading this guy, and this guy. I told you, right?
So just for the
I ask
plugins.
huh, I ask Azure ARM, hey, how can I download? They said, hey, run this code. So that is what I'm doing actually. Okay. Then later on, I'll write a code for AWS or Azure or whatever it is. Got it?
But this piece of code, after installing the provider, it will allow to get connect. I mean, this will allow to make an API call to the Azure.
When you create a resources of AWS, then only you'll make a call, no? Right now, I'm
Okay.
downloading. I must remind you, I'm not
Okay.
creating resources. Correct now?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got
So
one more
now,
question actually.
yeah,
So once we are done with the downloading, we no need to mention provider in any file.
no, one-time activity.
Yeah, okay. So there is no need of mentioning every time the provider is this and that, and right?
Automatically, it will check whether it's stall or not. I'll tell you. Just give me some time.
Okay,
Okay. So
okay.
this is the
Yes.
providers.tf file. Okay. And this is the file. Is empty. And I will copy, let's say AWS. And where is that? Here. And copy. Okay. So this is the one provider will be, this is one provider. So now the question is, how do we download the provider? So the command for this is Terraform init. You run only one time. This is the one. So this, you write a file and then this command will read the provider.tf and download the providers automatically. Okay. I did it, enter it. Now they are reading my file. They are trying to download the AWS provider. You see that. Okay. And now let's happen. And you see here, if you look at the background, .terraform got created. Here providers, registry, HashiCorp, AWS, version, Windows. This is your exe. In this, I said this is also executable. Don't take it with a special way, just a simple one. So it's a hidden directory. Some of you might not see that. So what you have to do, you have to click here, here, and hidden items. You will see that. So what I did actually, I downloaded one provider that was AWS. So similar way, I can download other provider also. Let's say Azure also. Here, copy the code. Now here, if I copy the code now and let me run this one more time in it. So the provider which is downloaded already, it will not try to download. So I run init. Now there is some error. You should start reading the error message with the care. Don't ignore it. Don't jump to Google. Just read it. Get this habit. Okay. It says, hey, there's a problem. Duplicate provider configurations. Here required provider dab 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 line number 15. So basically what they are saying again, this is the two section, you cannot keep it in the file. Okay. So what to do? So now I'm going to copy this code and put it somewhere here. So that way it's done. So problem solved, and this I'll remove it. That means here I'm downloading the AWS and Azure, and this is for the version lock-in only. This is not required. It is optional. If you want to lock the version, then only this code is required for AWS and Azure. So now I need to run this one more time in it. So clear this screen in it. Now AWS, last time it was downloaded already, and this time Azure provider also will be downloaded. Just wait for it. Done. And now if you want to see the which providers you have downloaded already, there is one command which is providers. Okay. And here you see two providers you have right now with along with the version. So what I did, nothing great. I installed the Terraform and then I wrote a code which with the help of init, I downloaded these providers. So now I have all the ingredients ready. If you look at it a little bit carefully, I have a Terraform, I have a provider, and now my code I need to write it which I want to create on AWS or Google Cloud. So this coding is pending, and after that, once you write a code, apply, destroy, apply, destroy. This will be in a loop. And if you apply or destroy, whatever the response you get it will be updated in state file. That is a next step. So
Can you
guys,
tell me a few words about statefile actually?
so state files, once you create a resources, it's not about Terraform
So it's
only.
like the
Understanding the
storage purpose.
no. Understand in generic way. This is you, okay? And you make a
Okay.
request to API, any API, AWS,
Mhm.
Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes. Then you get a response. What? JSON file. And this state file is nothing but a JSON file. Whenever you make a whenever you create a resources, output will be stored in the state file, and that's a JSON file. Got it? So the state file means state of your infrastructure will be in this file. I'll show you during the demo. Got it?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah, yeah, I got it.
This state file is created only after the apply uh,
Only apply,
command.
yes. And
Okay, not
you should
after
not touch,
init command.
yes. You should not touch that file because it will be managed by Terraform. But for reference, you can open up and see that it's a JSON file.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
the
now
hidden folder which you have shown just now, which
that's
is
a providers.
created.
That's the
Okay.
providers. Here the providers will be there. By default, dot folders will be hidden. You can enable it hidden items to see this folder.
Okay. And what does that contain? It's an executable for Terraform.
Providers here. This is the one. Let
Okay.
me show you.
And there is one more file, one more, I think, HCL.log. I guess I have
Ha.
seen.
So this you can ignore it. This is for Terraform. They have
Hmm.
they have basically hard coded that whatever you are doing operations. So you just ignore it. There's no
Okay.
this file is not at all related for your work. It's for
Mm.
Terraform to manage the providers and versions and stuff like that. Right now, not
So
needed.
you are using VS Code to edit all the files or write all the Terraform files.
Up to you. You like Notepad, Notepad plus plus, Visual Studio Code, Eclipse. It's up to you. Whatever you like, you can use it. And this
Okay,
code are
so
very simple, so no problem.
if we use VS Code, we can run all this in uh, VS Code itself,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. It's up to you. In the VS Code also, you have a console downside, and these commands which I'm running right
Yeah,
now,
we can run it there.
you can
And
run it. Yeah, that is
is there do I need any plugins to use in the VS Code?
no nothing. It's
No need to use any
just a
plugins.
console, command console, bash console is there. No plugins is required for it.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so now what we have understood is we try to understand what is Terraform and why do we need it. Then we understood that how it works and architecture, and then we understand some of the anatomy of the coding standard, and then we install the Terraform and providers and few basic commands such as Terraform help, Terraform version, Terraform init, Terraform providers. These are the 4-5 commands we learn. Any questions so far?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.